What if you had instant analytics on your PDP images and a faster way to create content that performs better? That's what we're diving into in today's episode, how top brands and retailers are using analytics and automation to stay ahead across retail media and the digital shelf. It's Rapid helps teams scale smarter. They analyze image performance, they help you create optimized assets for retail media networks and the digital shelf, and they integrate directly with PIM and DAM systems for seamless execution. Brands like Pepsi, Mondelez, and Instacart use its Rapid to go beyond basic tools to uncover gaps in PDP and retail media performance by analyzing the images themselves, not just the count. Streamline banner creation across hundreds of formats for Amazon Ads, Walmart Connect, and other retail and social platforms, and launch high-performing content more than 80% faster across e-commerce and marketing channels. If you're buried in manual work or struggling to keep up, this episode and It's Rapid will show you a better way. Visit itsrapid.ai to learn more.
Welcome to Beyond the Shelf with Dave Feinlieb. This show is an open exploration of the people and process behind e-commerce. Through conversations with innovators in the space, we learn the stories of these leaders and their strategies for e-commerce success. We publish new episodes every Tuesday morning, so be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And now, here's your host, Dave Feinlieb.
Welcome back to Beyond the Shelf. Excited to be here for another great episode. My guest today is Tom Bingham, Director, Vertical Market Sales at LG Electronics. Tom, great to see you.
It's great to see you again, David. Enjoyed being part of the discussion.
All right. Excited to talk with you today. We've got some really great topics we're going to cover. Before we go there, first off, take us back. How'd you get your start in the space?
Yeah, it's interesting. I came from completely outside the industry. I joined LG about 12 years ago to help them stitch together our one LG portfolio of combining different business units together, and then just got involved in a really dynamic time with LG as we grew our digital portfolio and moved up through the ranks with our organization, leading a voice of customer initiative. And it's just been a lot of fun these last 12 years working with a really exciting group of people out of our HQ office, our North American headquarters in New Jersey, and then our information display and business solutions group in Chicago. And it's just it's been a fun time putting together a team of specialists in a variety of different verticals, and then just working with customers, kind of better understanding what their needs are, and then going back to our engineering team and helping them develop solutions based on what we're hearing from the customer. So it's been a ride. It's been a lot of fun. I there are days where I'm going, I get paid to do this.
Those are the best.
A lot of fun.
When you hear a good idea from a customer and you can bring that back, and then sometime later you see that in real and it's come to life, there's really nothing like that.
It is, and it's infectious, and that's where I think me and my team really have some of the best jobs in LG, because we do get to be innovative and play with new ideas and try new things. And it's heartbreaking when something doesn't work out and an idea doesn't materialize. But it's super exciting when things do come together, and we see how transformative it is, not only for our customers, but then for our own business as we take those ideas and incorporate them in other lines of business. So it's a lot of fun. We feel privileged to do what we do.
This is great. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about in-store. We're going to be talking about some retail technology. Will you just kind of set the stage for our listeners? What does all that mean, and what are you seeing in the space?
Well, it's fast moving. It seems to change by the minute. We thought the things were changing pretty fast after COVID, and we were all responding to the new world and things like that. And it just has never slowed down. We look at different lines of business like the QSR, for example, and how transformative the QSR experience was in drive-thrus and so forth. And now we're seeing the rapid adoption of retail media networks into the grocery and C-store space and permeating a lot of the big box retailers. And it's the same type of speed and fast change. amazing how quickly things are evolving, and in the end, it's creating much better experiences for everybody involved. It's better for the consumer. It's better for the actual owners and operators, and certainly better for the advertisers. So it's kind of fun being part of it, but it's hard to keep up. It's moving fast.
Yeah, 100%. And you told us a little bit about this, spending time with customers, but
Yeah.
give us a feel for what does the day-to-day look like for you?
Well, the day to day usually is spent time with stakeholders who are really trying to redefine their business, and the area that we focus in on is not so much understanding our customer, but making sure that we understand our customer's customer and how they're redefining what they call their customer journey, and what they expect between elevated experiences inside their stores and restaurants and venues, and what that means back to value, back to their customer. How are they communicating and creating those experiences? And then in turn, how are they responding to those experiences inside of their own businesses and the challenges that they face on maintaining operational efficiency and cost effectiveness? I mean, you can try all kinds of crazy things, but without a blank checkbook, somebody's accountable to the financial side of the house too, going, okay,
Yeah.
this crazy idea has to actually make sense financially as well. So it's a balance between those needs on all sides of the fence, and we really enjoy kind of sitting there, being part of those conversations, really getting to know how they're trying to connect with their customer, and that makes us part of their team. We feel like now we're there, and then we watch these POCs that we do and implementations, and we see the smiles on faces, or we see positive experiences. We go, you know what, we helped make that happen, and that's a pretty rewarding experience.
This is great. Now, our listeners are probably familiar with LG displays, but you're talking about something much bigger here, broader solutions. Kind of tell us what that means.
Yeah, it's when I started with LG a while ago, we were very concerned about just making a reliable display. We were probably a 5 to 7 player in the market down in the middle there, kind of doing things and feeling our way out and so forth. But then as we had these meetings and started learning about, more efficient form factors and starting developing ideas around SoC based technology and things of that nature, we really started applying our skills into developing really reliable digital platforms that created great pictures, whether we use OLED or 4K. Or I can remember when we were still going, ooh, 4K, that was something new. Now we're way beyond that, and we've gone from really trying to work towards visual acuity to now that's a given. We know that LG makes outstanding, pretty pictures on displays and reliable, and they don't fail. That's just a par now. That just gets you to the game. Now it's become a experience around helping them with analytics and data aggregation and making sure that their advertisers are actually getting the feedback that they need so they have meaningful relationships with our customers, and the guests feel like they're getting a meaningful experience that actually connects with them as opposed to being sold something or pressured into something. And that takes a lot of talent. It takes a lot more than just LG coming in with a display. Now it comes in with software and SoC platforms and firmware updates and API integrations and all the things that it works not only together with us, but third party partners and other analytic firms and so forth. So it's an ecosystem of people together that LG helps facilitate to deliver that solution. And it's now a much more elevated experience. It now is a very intricate conversation involving a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different people. And it's far beyond just our ability to deliver a reliable display. That's kind of assumed. And now we go far deeper into really understanding what's going on in the business and helping drive change.
So take us into the retail environment. We're in the store, we're at the QSR, we're there. How is that similar to maybe what a brand is working on or an advertiser's thinking about on, let's say, the digital shelf or e-commerce, something like that, and what you're seeing kind of in this physical environment where you've got the
Yeah.
retailer and these brands?
Well, the needs of the retailer and the needs of their advertisers are becoming far more intricate. It used to be satisfactory just simply to say that I've got rotational, ads running during a period of time when I know guests are going to be there, and I put it in a location where I know that they're eventually going to gather, and going, good. Now let's, we've got 10 million impressions, and hopefully it's a positive experience. And it's gone far beyond that. Now it's omni-channel experiences that touch people in a variety of spaces, and it has to hit them simultaneously on their apps as well as in face to face, and they all have to be connected experiences that actually stitch together an overall positive impression for what they're trying to accomplish and how they're trying to connect with the consumer. And the consumer is far more intelligent now. They're not going to be inspired to take action by just seeing an ad now. It's got to be something that's actually connecting with them on a level that's personal, that's meaningful to their tastes and interests, and then a cause to action that they actually feel good about taking. And so it's a lot more sophisticated. We now look at different form factors. We look at different strategic positioning and why we put displays in certain locations and what they do. And the traditional
and when you say look at, you mean you kind of evaluate. You say try it this way, try it that way, and kind of
exactly.
see like what works better.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the biggest insights we had is, for the longest time, LG just sold rectangles. You get a 43-inch rectangle, a 55-inch rectangle, a 65-inch rectangle.
Yeah.
And you put them over the heads of the shelf or an end cap display, and everybody just gets desensitized to it because it's expected and it's the norm, and it really doesn't do anything that causes me to act. But now we're taking a look at stretch displays and LED ribbons and shelf edge displays and things that are really purposely placed that are more aligned with where I'm actually looking for information and I'm looking for content that's relevant. And now it connects with what I'm doing in a way that now is more meaningful. And so we look at a lot of different form factors as opposed to just the rectangles, which we sell lots of rectangles. But where do you put them and what they do is more important. And now the form factors that we have, there's a lot of portrait modes, and we have a lot of narrows and different aspect ratios. And it now creates a more meaningful experience that actually connects with the customer and has more intent. It's aesthetically pleasing and goes with the decor of the store. So there's a lot of variables there, but it's certainly gone from just boring rectangles to now more intent and purposeful displays.
This is great. So it almost sounds like you've got different surfaces. I mean, the same core technology, I'm guessing, but
Yeah.
different ways to structure it. And that gives you a lot more flexibility on what you can do
Right.
in the store.
Yeah, when we're talking to a customer, we're usually not talking about a display or a application. We're usually talking about their entire digital footprint and their entire portfolio, and we talk about how they work together in different locations, different sizes, and different ways, but have a blended experience across all of them. And
Yeah.
then talk about how we actually manage those digital assets through the ability to facilitate data accumulation and then stitch those experiences together so it's one cohesive experience. And that's far more impactful to the business than, hey, let's put a shelf edge out there, which is
Right.
great by
Right.
itself. It's just a shelf edge, but you combine it with reinforcing that message as I make my way through the store from beginning to end, and it's reinforced along the way. And now I'm going, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Okay, this is great. Retail media has been just on a growth tear. We're seeing it everywhere. We're seeing lots of new
Yeah.
surfaces, form factors, different kinds of content. What are you seeing? When it comes to this area.
Again, it's the brands are trying to work with their advertisers and their own marketing strategies to have a better connection with their guests and customers. And the challenges around doing that in a more meaningful way have escalated, the retail media network footprints into really curated experiences now demand better accountability through data attribution models and better applications of AI and so forth to create more meaningful experiences, and then the ability to collect data on those experiences to evaluate the effectiveness so that if that campaign is working, let's do more of that. If it's not working, understanding why and what adjustments are necessary in order to make a more meaningful experience. And the competitiveness of this is unbelievable because now I'm not just competing within my own system and my own people and so forth, but now I'm competing against my competitors in the same spaces who are creating better experiences. So an advertiser is now making a decision. Not only do I want to be in this space, whether it's a QSR or a grocery store or wherever that may be, but now they're choosing between which one in that space is more effective with their retail media network that's going to give me better results based on my campaign. So the intensity of your capabilities has to reflect our ability to be able to respond back to those advertisers and give them more meaningful experiences, because they have lots of choices where they can go now.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
swarmed with opportunity, but if they're not elevating that data model back to the advertiser and giving them what they need to demonstrate that that thing's actually been effective, they're going to go elsewhere.
Yeah. So more opportunity, but also you got to bring your A game, I guess you could
That's right.
say, in this space.
Yeah, and it can be intimidating because it's moving so fast and there's so much
Yeah.
to it, and there's a lot to wade through between who's legitimately adding value and who's not. And then at the core of all that, making sure that you've got a strong foundation of a digital footprint to work off of. So we kind of look at that whole thing all together and look at, okay, what are all the variables and where do we have opportunities to positively influence? And no two organizations are the same. Everybody's got a little bit different insight. Everybody's got different levels of expertise. Some people are really good at it. Some are just learning it. And our goal is to kind of help guide them at whatever level of adoption that they are, to help make sure they've got the best environment in which to work. And sometimes we're very consultative and we provide a lot of insight. Sometimes we stand back and go, look, you guys got it. We're actually learning from you. Let's just give you a stable platform on which to work. So it varies. And that's why I said we really enjoy the job, because every interaction is a new interaction and every experience is a little bit different. And we learn something from everybody, and then we gain, some insight, transfer that knowledge. It's enjoyable.
This episode of Beyond the Shelf is brought to you by It's Rapid. It's Rapid is the platform Pepsi, Mondelez, Instacart, and hundreds of other leading brands and retailers use to build personalized content at scale. Whether that's images, videos, or product descriptions for their product detail pages, shoppable videos or banners for their digital ad campaigns, or sell sheets for sales enablement, brands that use It's Rapid are able to produce high-quality, on-brand content on average more than 80% faster than category competitors. To find out more, please visit itsrapid.ai.
These days, no conversation is complete without talking about AI and automation. Tell us what you're seeing there. How's that influencing or changing in-store content, advertising, and operations?
It's consistent where we see AI in all of our businesses, whether it's our internal business, external, whatever. Businesses who adopt new technology and do well, adopt it and do well with it. People who don't do well with it just fail faster. AI is a delicate balance here, and we've seen some of our retailers who have used AI modeling to be able to increase like the guest experience through a drive-through, for example, where the adaptation of AI to help facilitate the ordering process, the order confirmation process, making sure that what they're seeing is connected with that particular guest in the line at that time. All done really well. But if it's not done well, it becomes very disingenuous and it seems kind of awkward and forced. And it can go from creating a very positive experience to actually destroying trust with the customer, because then they feel like they're being manipulated and going, oh, well, what is my price different than the other guys? Is that not available to me for what reason? And they don't like change without understanding why that change takes place. So that being said, when we introduce AI into here, you hear a lot of people talking about it. The ones who are doing it do it really well. But what they're doing is it goes right back to what we said at the beginning. They have a deeper understanding of their customer journey and how to apply it in a positive way to influence that, so that it's a better guest experience or better customer experience. And if they do that, AI is a wonderful way to go, and it's really going to accelerate their success. So again, if you're smart and you understand your customer really well and how to connect with them, AI is going to really accelerate your learning curve and give you an amazing way to connect with the customer. If you aren't really good at what you're doing, it's just going to accelerate your frustrations.
Really well said. Well, we've covered a lot of ground. You work across stadiums, venues, immersive
Mm-hmm.
environments,
Yep.
stores, all sorts of great spaces. How are expectations changing? You threw around OLED and 4K and a
Yeah.
bunch of other things here. So give us the latest and greatest on what you're seeing let's say when we're at the game or in another environment?
Well, I tell you what's really exciting to see what's happening. I mean, LG introduced OLED technology, and that really changed the landscape for a lot of consumer applications, and we use those in suite applications and so forth. But you're now going to see a major advancement in what we're doing in direct-view LED, not just the indoor LED, but now outdoor LED as well. Weights, power consumptions, data processing, all of those things are improving to make it more affordable, but also making the visual acuity amazing. And we're seeing pixel pitches get tighter and tighter and tighter. And so those experiences now are really fantastic for the consumer, the guest sitting in those spaces. But the other thing that's happening now, and I just witnessed this in an arena that we're working with, we've seen the pixel pitches on ribbons go from what used to be 10 plus pixel pitch. So it was a very grainy kind of look like,
And what's a pixel pitch?
the space between one dot of color versus another dot of color. And the tighter and tighter you get, the better and better the visual acuity. Well, what that does for an advertiser and people who are actually putting their content on those ribbons now is now instead of just seeing, a name scrolling across or a logo scrolling across there, now you're seeing full video. And the quality of the interactions and the overall experience for both the advertiser and the consumer is fantastic. And those pixel pitches are just going to keep getting better and better and better. We had some folks in taking a look at our AM micro lines now, and we're down to 0.7 millimeter pixel pitch for indoor product, and it's just shocking how amazing that looks. And you're sitting there going, "Oh my gosh!" And then it's that big. So we've some really exciting spaces where we've done that, and we're now putting those into a lot of public venues in both indoor and outdoor applications, and people are just wowed by it. And it's good for the operator too, because it's a different technology. Now it's called COB. So now it's resistant to damage at pedestrian level applications. So I can bump into it and bang into it. I don't hurt it anymore. It's not like the old technology. So it's really exciting. It's being rapidly adopted, and it's becoming a new standard for people as they build modern experiences.
This is great. Now, if you could also help me get everyone in when I do the selfie photos, I'm going to tell them,
Yeah.
fix your pixel pitch. Maybe they'll listen to me, maybe not.
Yeah.
We'll see. But what I love about what you said is that it sounds like you can really take a surface and now do like video right on the surface, where before maybe you could show some information or
Right.
some static images or something
Yeah.
like that. You can actually make this thing super dynamic.
Yeah, Dave, that's a great way of describing it. We use that analogy a lot. We consider our partners artists, and we're giving them the most capable canvas they have upon which to do their craft. And interestingly enough, we had a major corporate installation where they actually commissioned a digital artist to create their content, and he was giving us feedback that he has never been so free to work before in anything that he's ever worked on until he worked with the LG, magnet line, which is our high end direct view LED line. And he's like, I'm not limited. He goes, I can, whatever I want to create, you guys can handle. And he goes, I've never had this kind of creative freedom before. And that's what we feel pretty proud of. It's allowing people to do things now beyond what they ever envisioned, and doing so in an economical way. So it's fun and exciting. And when I see it in person and I go see what he created, it's like, wow, that is stunning.
Amazing.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, Tom, I've got 100 other questions I could ask you. I'm going to take you to our rapid rundown.
sure.
You've covered, first off, some really exciting technology, some spaces that I think are really exciting for our brand and advertiser and retailer listeners. So hopefully that's been helpful for them. But I've got a few questions here for you. Your quick thoughts. First off, what is the coolest retail or venue display you've ever seen in person?
I one of the coolest things that I've seen was not even recent, but it's now evolving, where we see the replication of what's on the one side of the wall with what you see on another side of the wall. So now it becomes almost a transparent wall, and we're seeing this in some transportation applications and some other interesting venue applications. So it now opens up spaces that used to be restricted. We used to do a nice OLED tunnel that I thought was the coolest thing ever, because you walk through these really immersive OLED tunnel experiences. But now this transparent wall concept is really blowing people's minds and very exciting.
All right. So a tunnel followed by a transparent wall. That'll be the next one. Okay, I love it. If you could instantly upgrade the digital experience inside one retailer, stadium, or venue, ooh, this is a tough one. Which would it be?
It's interesting. I'll tell you what's happening today, and I was sharing this with the lead for my transportation vertical. Um, I was walking through a terminal that I hadn't been to in quite a while, and I noticed that they've done a really good job with a lot of the concessions retailers inside of a transportation hub. So I'm going through the gates in a terminal in a major airport, and the retailer there took a dead wall that had been just dead space as you're walking from one lengthy gate to another. And now they've got a single shelf that goes down this wall with an LED ribbon that goes behind it and above it. And now it looks like a deep store when it's actually just one self-service shelf with kiosks. And I thought that was a really creative use of technology that created space. It took a dead wall on a mundane airport terminal and now turned it into a vibrant experience. And have made it easy for me to pick that stuff and grab and go as I'm walking from one place to the next. And I was really telling my team earlier today, I'm going, you need to connect with these folks and understand how transformative that was in that experience. I've been in that terminal before and found it depressing. Now I go in that terminal 6 months later and I'm going, wow, it's completely changed my perception. Not even as a consumer, but just as somebody who's having to walk through it, it doesn't feel depressing now. It actually livens the whole place up and actually puts me in a better mood. So it's amazing how impactful the right use of digital technology can be into what ordinarily would have been a very mundane space.
Tom, so inspiring. At the end of a busy work day or week, how do you like to unwind?
Yeah, can I say a scotch and my feet on the couch?
Yeah. All
A
right.
man of a certain age and distinction. I like my bourbon.
I love it. I love it. And you've got great insights. I actually learned, I think, as much about how to connect with the customer on this call as about the tech itself, which I think is a real win. So you've got a great gift for how to think about the customer, and I think how to sort of meet them where they are, whether they're super advanced or they're just starting out. So I thought that was great learning. So I really appreciate that. What's the best way for our listeners to find out more about LG and what you're doing in the space?
Well, you can go to our LG Business Solutions page at lge.com, or you can reach out to me and my team. And we'd love to be able to point you in the right direction. Like I said, my team's got a lot of specialties in a lot of different verticals, and we're here to be consultative. Our goal is to kind of share with you what we've learned in the space and kind of put you in touch with a host of great people inside of the LG organization.
Awesome. Tom Bingham, thanks for joining me here today from LG Electronics. It was a pleasure talking with you here on Beyond the Shelf, and I hope you'll come back.
I'd love to, Dave. Really appreciate our time today.
That's it for this week's episode of Beyond the Shelf. If you enjoy the show, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. It really helps us grow. And feel free to share us with your colleagues so they too can hear weekly perspectives from the brightest minds in e-commerce. You can also check us out on LinkedIn, where we post clips from each episode, share Dave's takes on breaking industry news, and much more. Beyond the Shelf is a production of It's Rapid. Our host is Dave Feinlieb, and our producer is Jake Musiker. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Beyond the Shelf.